He laughed. Loud, arrogant, and careless. The kind of laugh that fills a quiet room and makes everyone uncomfortable. The woman standing at the gate didn't flinch. She just looked at him, calm and composed, her uniform pressed to perfection, her cap tilted just right, and her eyes, those steady, unreadable eyes, fixed on the man who thought her job was a joke. It was early morning at a naval base in Virginia, the kind of place where discipline breathes through the air. Every step, every salute, every order meant something. But to this visitor, a loud, middle-aged contractor with too much ego and too little respect, the woman in uniform was just a guard. And that word, guard, rolled off his tongue like an insult. Really? You're the one checking my ID? He scoffed, flashing a crooked smile. Did they run out of men today, or what? A few of the other visitors shifted uncomfortably. The female guard didn't move. She took his ID, scanned it, and in a voice that was steady and firm said, "Sir, please proceed to the inspection lane." But he wasn't done. "You know," he said, stepping closer, "I always wondered why they let women play soldier. Looks cute, though. Bet you get to feel important standing out here with a badge." A small flicker passed through her eyes. Not anger, not embarrassment. Something deeper. Something like patience wrapped around years of discipline. She didn't rise to his bait. Instead, she simply nodded toward the lane again. "Inspection lane, sir." He chuckled, muttering something under his breath about quota hires as he walked past her. Moments later, a black SUV rolled up. Its windows were tinted, its movement precise. The gate guards snapped to attention. The female guard saluted sharply. The SUV stopped, the window rolled down, and inside sat 3 Navy SEALs in dress uniforms. The man who had been mocking her turned, his smirk lingering, until he noticed the sudden change in atmosphere. The lead SEAL looked at her and smiled. "Good morning, Major." Every syllable hit the air like a weight. The man's jaw froze mid-smile. His breath caught. "Major." The SEALs stepped out. Each one greeted her with a crisp salute. Not out of courtesy, but out of respect. She returned it, her posture flawless, her tone soft but commanding. "At ease, gentlemen. Good to see you again." The mocker's laughter was gone now, replaced by disbelief. He looked at her again, this time really looked. The medals on her chest, the insignia on her collar, the quiet authority in her stance. She wasn't just a guard. She was Major Elena Cruz, a decorated combat officer, a woman who had led rescue operations under fire, who had lost men and saved others, who had seen the kind of hell most people only hear about in war movies. The SEAL beside her grinned, nodding toward the stunned man. "Something wrong, sir? You look like you've seen a ghost." He stammered, I didn't know." The Major turned to him. Her voice was calm, but it cut through the morning air like steel. "Respect isn't something you give because of gender or rank. It's something you give because you value what someone stands for." Her words hit him harder than any reprimand could have. His face turned red, shame burning through his arrogance. He opened his mouth to apologize, but she was already moving on. Duty first, emotions later. Later that day, as the sun dipped behind the barracks, the same man sat in his truck, staring at the gate. He watched her walk the perimeter with the same quiet strength. There was no bitterness in her movements, no pride in the way she carried herself. Just focus, purpose. He thought about the way she had stayed calm, how she hadn't once raised her voice, how she had chosen dignity over confrontation. And for the first time, he understood something his arrogance had blinded him to. Strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it stands silently, holding the line when others crumble. The next morning, he returned. When he approached the checkpoint, he didn't smirk or talk. He simply handed over his ID, looked her in the eyes, and said softly, "Good morning, Major." She nodded. "Morning, sir." And for a moment, he swore he saw the faintest smile cross her face. Not one of triumph, but forgiveness. Word about what had happened spread quietly across the base. Some called it karma, others called it a lesson. But for the people who had seen it firsthand, it was something more, A reminder that respect is never about titles, gender, or appearances. It's about recognizing the courage that others carry quietly. The major story became one people whispered to new recruits, especially those who came in cocky and untested. They'd point to the gate and say, "That's where Major Cruz stands. Remember that before you open your mouth." Because behind every uniform, behind every pair of steady eyes, there's a story of sacrifice, of resilience, of moments where they could have broken but didn't. And for that man, the one who mocked what he didn't understand, it became the day that changed the way he saw people forever. He would tell the story to his own son years later, starting it with a quiet confession. "I once disrespected a hero, and she taught me what strength really looks like. We live in a world too quick to judge what we see, too quick to measure worth by looks, gender, or position. But the truth is, real greatness often hides in plain sight. It stands quietly at gates, works long hours unseen, and carries burdens no one asks about. And sometimes, when life wants to humble us, it sends someone like Major Elena Cruz, someone who reminds us that respect isn't earned through fear or power, but through character. So the next time you meet someone in uniform, any uniform, look a little deeper. Behind that calm face, there might be a lifetime of courage, 1,000 untold stories, and a heart that's still fighting for something bigger than itself. If the story touched you, take a moment to reflect. Respect those who serve, those who protect, and those who carry quiet strength in their hearts. And if you believe the world needs more stories like this, stories of humility, honor, and redemption, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more true and powerful tales that remind us what humanity should be. Because sometimes all it takes is one moment, one word, one salute to change how we see everything.